So in a perfect world, and I'll say that because I am guilty of this sometimes, but for all of us, it is a whole 24-hour cycle. So it's not just what you do right before bed, but even what you do throughout your day. So how are we as far as, I'll even start with diet and exercise. That's incredibly important when we talk about foundational things. So what does our diet look like during the day? When do we stop eating? When do we stop drinking caffeine? Because that can impact your sleep. So if we're drinking, a coffee or, a soda right before bed, that's going to impact your ability to sleep at night. Alcohol, too, can impact our ability to go to bed.
Yeah.
You might fall asleep, but it's going to interrupt your quality of sleep and can cause other issues as well.
Yeah.
And are we getting out and exercising? So it doesn't have to be vigorous exercise, but just going outside or, meditating or walking, that can make a big impact on how your sleep is at night.
Yeah.
So that's one piece. I think even just socialization, we see a lot of that too. When people, COVID was a big time of that, when people were not as social, you are more inward and doing other things. Having that, just having that, ability to talk, not just looking at your phone, makes a big, just the touch and all of those things can make a big difference mentally as far as getting someone to go to bed.
Sure.
So those are just some pieces of it. Then it's, okay, what do we do as we lead up to bed? I put an alert on my phone. So I actually have a dimming function an hour before I want to go to bed to tell me, it's my hint to say, put my phone away.
Okay.
So, I have it on my settings to say, okay, now there's an orange light on. That means put it down and start my bedtime routine.
Yep.
And everyone's different, but it's going to be, for me, it's, get a book, shut everything down. If there's a lot of things going on in my mind that are kind of, putting me on edge, it's either processing it or physically writing it down.
Yep.
I had a good friend of mine who's a psychologist who used to do something called worry cards with his patients, where he'd say, write everything down every single night, 2 hours before you go to bed. Everything that's on your mind, so almost like your to-do list, and what you're going to do about it. Wow. He's like, when you're done with it, either throw it away, put it in a box, put it in your mental box, whatever you want to do with it. But it's so that when I'm fully awake, I know what's on my mind. I know what my plan is for the next day, so that when you lay in bed, it doesn't start coming at you either before you go to bed or 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And so I loved it, and I do that for myself. Okay, like, what's my day like tomorrow? What's bothering me that I didn't realize was bothering me? And let's get that out there.
Yep.
And then it's really I'm going to read until I get sleepy, and then I go to my bed.
Yep.
But really, it's how do we just reduce stimulation? So it would be getting off our phones, getting off, social media, TV, all of that in that 30 minutes to an hour before you want to go to bed. Yep. And really, your bed should just be your place to get ready for sleep.
Yep.
And if you can't, it would be getting up and going somewhere else.
Yep.
For me personally, the clock is my enemy at night, so I do not look at a clock. It is, I don't want to know it, so I turn it around, and I just, granted, unfortunately, my husband has the clock on his side, so when the alarm goes off, I know it's time, but when he is gone, it is, I just have an alarm set to get me up, but I don't look at it, and if it's not going off, then it's not time to get up.
Got it.
And then temperature matters. So having a cooler environment when you go to bed at night, because you do get naturally a little bit warmer as you go to bed. So not having it too warm definitely can help you get ready. Turning off as many lights as you can in your room. You want it as pitch black as you can. Blackout curtains can help a lot for people if they are sensitive. Sound machines can also be helpful for some if you're in a louder environment. Me too. But I think it's just reducing as much of that stimulation as you can, and really, it's really to train your brain to say, okay, we got to start winding down to get ready for bed.